What's up, everybody? This is the Rabid Hedgehog, and once again we're riding a tractor today from Motorcycle Works Moto Guzzi out of Oklahoma City, and today it is the V85TT, Moto Guzzi's newest adventure bike. So this is a brand new platform, engine and all. Yes, it's a similar displacement to the V9, but it is a different engine altogether. Now today, as you can probably see down there, it's ranging between 97 and 99, maybe 100 degrees here and there. It is a hot, steaming day out here in the good old Oklahoma, US of A. So, at any rate, we're taking this bike out for a spin around town and on the highway and hopefully through some twisties to get you a good example of what this bike can do. Now, looking in front of me, you can see Moto Guzzi's first TFT LCD screen on any platform. This particular one shows quite a bit of information on it. You of course have your speed prominent on the left side there, digital tacho as well that looks really cool going around. I love the graphic on it. Of course it comes around. Now it does have a slightly less than 7,000 RPM red line, but it will go kindly up to that very quickly. It does have quite a bit of grunt in the low end. Of course, like all Moto Guzzis, it seems to have grunt everywhere, which that is a perfect thing for a motorcycle. Now, on the other side, you have your clock. You have distance to empty. You have miles ridden in terms of the trip odometers and all that fun stuff. You also have time ridden as well on there, and you can go through the maximum speed reached and achieved, maximum average speed, fuel economy, current economy live, and trip A, and of course you can actually hold the mode button here on the right side to get to trip B and get all of its information. I didn't do that. Anyway, so looking around here as well, this has these headlights basically. That's going to tell you that you're in daylight running mode only. You push up to get to the main run and then you go all the way up for fog. Now, on a Moto Guzzi, you do have your hazards. Like I said, that mode switch that goes through the menus and all that good stuff. And you have your starter switch on the bottom that also controls the ride modes. This particular motorcycle comes with 3 ride modes. If you hold in your clutch and you go ahead and tap that starter button, you will see that we are now in rain mode, which is Piaggi up. That is the rain mode for this motorcycle. I'll go ahead and tap that again. We are now in off-road mode, and it changes the setting as well. And it does disengage rear ABS. And then we go through again and we can go to Strata, and Strata is going to be your street mode, which is where we are right now, giving you the crisper throttle response and all that good stuff. It's even got shift lights, as you can see. Second gear is 50 miles an hour, folks. That's pretty dang fun. All right. Man, people, learn how to drive on the interstate. You're not even doing the speed limit there. Alrighty. This bike actually likes to get up and scoot pretty nicely. And the transmission is very buttery smooth as I went up that transition there. Now, this bike is equipped very similarly as the MGX on the left side with cruise control. You simply press that in, and then you press it again or press it in, turn it on there, and then you tap it, and now you're set on cruise control. You then can press it up to increase speed or press down to decrease speed. You do have your selection here for your turn signals, your horn. Your bright is in the background there, and you can flash the pass if you pull it towards you, push it away, turns it on. And of course, if you had your infotainment, you would have a selection there to guide it through on the Bluetooth and all that good stuff that this is equipped with. Now, Bluetooth does come standard on this motorcycle to connect to your phone to give it diagnostics and other things of that nature. However, it does not have the infotainment system fully on it. You get a module for $198 that goes into it, and your phone connects to it. It's able to do Moto Guzzi GPS and all this other stuff, and allows you to use your phone and everything on this screen and pair it with your helmet so you can see what you're listening to, see your maps and all that good stuff, all on that TFT screen. So that's a pretty cool deal. A lot of stuff on this new bike. All right, so as we're riding here, this thing has a very adventure rider position, which means you are upright. So my feet, as you can see, come toward the head of the cylinder with the knee back down to a mid-mount. Now that's how I sit there, and so that means you can stand up easily, as you can see, when you're going off-road to aid in your off-road riding. So it's perfect, it's all straight down for you, and that way you stand up real easily on this machine and you're really well planted. So every off-road, you can stand up, go over those extra bumps and have some fun with it. You're also very straight up, your arms come straight down and out. And what's nice is it does come with these bark busters on it. It also has adjustable levers. They're 4 position on each side for brake and clutch. Like I said, quite a bit of stuff happening on this motorcycle for a very reasonable price. I'll post the MSRP down below. Now this windshield is not adjustable, however it does come up quite nicely. The way it is shaped, it is keeping a lot of the wind off of my body just fine, and I experience a smidge of buffeting at the top of my helmet. I am 6 foot tall, 32 inch inseam, around 230 pounds if you need any reference. So it gives you an idea that it does protect the body area very well, but it does not get to the top of the helmet, of course, and it causes a little bit of buffeting and all that good stuff to be expected. But it's very comfortable. This motorcycle rides very compliant. It does have non-adjustable front shocks, but it is in the inverted position, and it has a fully adjustable rear shock, so it has preset and rebound control on the back, and it's a mono shock platform, and it is one of those offset ones. It's on the right side, it's not in the dead middle, but it rides fantastically and smoothly. These roads here, as you can see, that was a pretty gnarly bump there at 70 miles an hour or so, and it was didn't even care. Now our tachometer is reading around 42 to 4300 RPM at 73 miles an hour, and we're going away from the wind at this time, so we're not pushing against any wind resistance. We're just going straight on from it. This bike is really well suited for this highway right now. Now this is the V85TT without the adventure pack on it, so what it's missing is the 2 aluminum panniers with the top case. If you had the adventure one, you could get that, and they come with that, and this one just simply does not have it. Now it also has a little bit more urbanized tires too. It doesn't have a full out set of knobbies or anything, so this one's going to be more for the road. But it rides super well though. Another thing that you will notice over here is it has a USB port right next to the screen. And of course, besides the shift lights, you have your service engine light, you have your turn signals on each side of them, and then you also have your maintenance lights and your traction control lights as well that come on in ABS. This little guy just perfectly rides along though. And as you can see, really good pull away power even in 6th gear, top gear there. It just took off and started going again. So riding on this, like I said, this is a brand new engine for this motorcycle. It is very similar in displacement to the V9s, but different altogether. But I mean, here's the thing, I think this engine works way better than the V9. The V9 to me was not quite as fun as the V7. The way the V7 can be thrown around and you can goof off with it is something the V9 just doesn't feel like it's happy enough with. You know, that one feels more for cruising, more for, you know, just enjoying the road. This one, you could flog it and have a little bit more fun with it, feels like it's a little bit more rev happy, a little lighter inside, allowing it to get up to speed quicker. It's buttery smooth though. I mean, absolutely buttery smooth engine operation. There are no issues with it diving off to one side. As you can see, I'll gun it there and you can see it's not torquing over or anything like that. That is something that was old Moto Guzzi's, not these new ones. So this one takes off just fine and doesn't do the torque over or anything like that. It just simply rides smoothly. You know there's an engine there, I'll put it that way. You get a little bit of vibration through the foot pegs, but everywhere else, nothing at all. Just a nice, smooth engine. So right now I'm on the main highway. I'm on an interstate here in Oklahoma, you know, at our full speeds that we can do here. And it's just brilliant. This thing's on rails. I mean, this chassis is very light and very compliant. And I mean, it's just on rails right now. I mean, it's so stable, even with the wind we have today. I know it's toward my back right now, but riding it up, you know, to here, before I started the video, I kind of getting a feel for it, and I was just amazed at how well planted this machine is on the road. And it rides beautifully. I mean, the suspension is just absolutely marvelous. The seat right now is marvelous. Hitting these dips and these broken bits of concrete, you don't even notice them, so that's a great thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this thing to one of the twistier portions in Oklahoma. I'd like to call it Skeleton Creek Pass. It's north of Guthrie that we're about to enter here in a moment. So once I get up there and actually get playing around, we'll turn this thing back on and we'll actually goof off a little bit in what we call twisties, the best we've got, and see how this bike truly does handle. Alrighty everybody, welcome to the twisty portion of Stay On Your Side. Welcome to the twisty portion of the V85TT ride here. So now we are north of Guthrie, Oklahoma. We're heading toward a small town called Enloe. If some of you have seen this channel before, you know that I take a lot of bikes up here for twisty, turny, runny things. So I've had the Street 750 up here, I've had the Night Rod up here, the Fat Bob, the MGX 21. So many bikes have come up here because this is about our best twistiness thing that we've got. So this is the V85TT beginning to do its run through these wonderful little twisties here. And I gotta say that this thing has an incredible lean angle and very well planted suspension. Now I will say that this particular motorcycle actually has a very tall seat height, in that you can get 3 different seats for it, but you got to replace each seat. So you got it extended, you got this one, the mid one, which is around 33 inches tall or so, or maybe a little bit more, because my feet are about 3/4 down versus being on the floor. Look at this thing just tear this up so beautifully right now. This motorcycle is on rails. It is a fantastic handling machine, doing these turns with absolute ease. So well planted, and I mean, it has incredible grip on these tires, and like I said, a very well done suspension that you feel very confident, and you're planted in these turns. Very easy to maneuver around in the seat and such as well, and your knees are nicely locked against the tank, so that way you have full control using your hips and your weight to pull this thing over and get this thing through these turns. I mean, you can do an incredible rate through here, and it does it so well. I mean, this thing turns fantastically. What a well balanced machine for an adventure bike. Usually you kind of feel a little bit kind of off when you're on an adventure bike. Basically, I don't know why, you just feel usually a little bit on those thinner tires that they generally have and the taller wheels, and you don't feel quite as planted. But this one right here, just eating up turns without a second thought. Absolutely a beautiful riding machine right through that portion. This bike handles so well, not very much input required on the bars at all, because you got these nice wide flat bars. I mean, they're just very good with leverage, and you could just get a lot of good feedback from them, so you know what this bike is going to do, and it knows what you want it to do, and that's always a great thing. When you look at these mirrors as well, they're very, very wide. I mean, they very much will have very good visibility. This clutch is so butter. Look at this. Absolutely one-handed or one finger operated, excuse me. Just literally, you just lightly tap it. It is cable operated, and your final, approach is coming off of it right around the halfway point where you're hitting that friction zone. I'm gonna go ahead and turn her back around real quick. There's not much more up here to play around with, but this bike can go off-road. I'm not going to demonstrate that because I don't want to hurt it. This is not my motorcycle. This is Motorcycle Works motorcycle, so I want to make sure that I take care of it. I want to make sure that it gets back home alive today. Not saying that I don't know how to off-road, just I don't want to risk what off-road can sometimes bring. Look at this thing just get up and go and speed for that little 863. This thing has a tremendously good sound too off the stock exhaust. I mean, it's very subtle whenever you're just going for the first time, but then you start racking it up in the higher RPM, and this bad boy starts to sing, and it sings very, very well. I'm going to take that pass again. This time we're going directly into the wind, so that way I'm getting a good feel for how much wind noise. And there's quite a bit coming through the helmet, because you got a lot of it coming through because you got this cut on the under end of your helmet, and you also got a lot of it at the top as well, so you still get that buffeting up top. All right, I got cruise control set this time, so I play nicely, right? Here we go back into these turns. Once again, the V85 on absolute rails. Just a light touch of the handlebar, just slightly pressing left in, and we're already going in. This is not a major turn, but still, for it just to be this light of a touch, and it already just follows you in. Alrighty, now we're going to get into the main portion of this. Getting that wind buffet here, but bike is still extremely planted. Alrighty, there's plenty of room, not even tapping the brakes. We're just going to go through on cruise control here. Plenty of dive room. Didn't even touch the peg down, not even close to touching the peg down. Just an absolute blast to ride this motorcycle. I never got a chance to try its big brother, the Stelvio, using the same engine as the Griso. I'm so regretting this right now. I wanted to so badly to be able to take it out like this, but never once got the chance. But every single Guzzi I have handled loves turns and loves the twist and loves to dive and have fun. This motorcycle is absolutely a great motorcycle in addition to the Moto Guzzi family. Remember that Moto Guzzis are a premium motorcycle. They do not make but 7,000 bikes a year. They don't make a lot of models all the time. It's just what they make though is fantastic and really well done. The fit and finish on this bike is amazing. I know we got some spots on it, but that's because this bike is being rode. It is a demo bike at Motorcycle Works. So if you do not believe in Moto Guzzi, you do not believe that they're good bikes, and you don't believe that you can get an amazing package from an Italian manufacturer, come down to Motorcycle Works on 906 Ann Arbor and ask Don to ride this thing, and you will be wanting it. This bike is that good. I'm not paid by this guy to do this either. This is just something I get to do. I get to enjoy. I get to have fun with. And he allows me to do so, and I appreciate him for doing that every time. But I'm telling you, this motorcycle is a great bike. This bike is a fantastic motorcycle, really well put together, really well done, really well balanced. It's really well priced too. This bike is literally under $12,000, and you get a lot for $12,000 here. And if you step up to the adventure one with the it's $12,999. You get top case and panniers and the cruise control, the bark busters. You get everything this one has as well. It's a great buy, and it is really well competitively priced, and it's got good power. It's got a great running engine as well. It's just a great overall running motorcycle that you should take a look at if you're looking to buy an adventure bike. Not everything can be a BMW GS. They can be more fun. They can have more character. They can be something that's not just an appliance. Now, I will take away a couple of things on this motorcycle. The heat is incredible. This, of course, being an air-cooled engine. The heads are right here below it. You can move your feet around a little bit here and there on the pegs. You do have quite a bit of room down there. But I will say that you can feel a lot of heat coming out of the transmission area on the right side. Left side is totally fine, but the right side is definitely getting some cook on. But like I said, we're 98 to 100 degrees today. This is a very hot day, and not everybody experiences these temperatures. And I will have to say that if you experience these low temperatures in the winter, you're going to want that extra heat on that leg. It's going to feel nice, you know. So, is it tolerable at 100 degrees? Yes, it is actually tolerable. Once you move your leg around, you will find a place to get rid of that heat in your leg. Also, I haven't mentioned the brakes just yet. They are fantastic. You've got Brimbos up front on double discs and a big old single rear disc in the back. This bike comes to a halt in a hurry. You know, I haven't shown that off, but there's nobody behind me. Boom! Look at that. Look how quick that was. Go ahead and get back up to speed, because like I said, nobody behind me right there. This bike will almost throw you over the handlebars, as good as these dadgum grabbers grab. Now, I will say also that with the off-road mode, it does disable the rear ABS, not the front, but the rear. So that way you can get this thing sliding in the dirt if you need control. So it is a nice little feature on this bike. But like I said, brakes, fantastic. Engine braking, great. Everything on this bike, with the exception of that little bit of heat coming off the right side, is perfect. But let me tell you something, air cools will always have a little bit more heat than liquid cools, especially when your head is literally right there saying hello to your leg. So remember that when you're going into this, that yes, everything on this bike is well put together, well done. If you're not dealing with 97, 98, 100 degrees, somewhere in there, you're not really going to have that much of that issue with the heat. It is not really bothering me at all either. I'm still wearing, as you can see, full gear. And I will do that no matter what. It's all the gear all the time. It's better than to sweat than to bleed. Remember that when you're riding, even in this condition. Get a good mesh jacket like I've got here, and you'll be totally fine. And you'll be enjoying this bike everywhere you go. This thing is an absolute amazing motorcycle. I'll get some pictures of it, go around it here real fast, and that way you can see what this beautiful machine looks like all the way around. Like I said, that single shock in the back and everything, just fantastic. So at any rate, this is the V85TT from Moto Guzzi, provided by Motorcycle Works for me to ride it today. I once again appreciate Don and everything that he does, and helping support this channel by allowing me to do these reviews for him. I also would like to say that if you have any questions of the V85TT, then don't hesitate to ask in the comments below, and we will get back with you. We'll happily talk about this motorcycle because it is an absolute fantastic motorcycle. We're just going to ride around in this 25-mile-an-hour zone while everybody else is speeding away from us. But look at how easy this thing is. It's just, you're just riding around full out wind in front of you, and it's just riding perfectly straight on and straight forward, going over these humps just fine. It's just such an easy going bike, so well balanced. Even at 2200 RPM in third gear, 25 miles an hour, 26 miles an hour. This thing just sits here and idles just right along, just burbles happily along and rides perfectly fine. I mean, if you're going to take this bike, you could take it anywhere. So like I said, if you have any questions, let us know. We'll get back with you. So at any rate, I hope you enjoyed this ride as much as I have. This has been a fantastic ride. I'm glad I got to go up to these little twisties to show you guys what this thing can actually do, and actually be able to show you that this chassis is very compliant, fantastic adventure riding bike. Suspension has enough travel for off-road capabilities and such. I'm just not going to risk it today. If this was my bike, I'd show you guys, but this is not mine once more. So at any rate, keep that shiny side up, folks. I'd like to thank my sponsors that are coming out. We've got Doug Crawford. He's with AMSOIL. He is providing the fluids for our motorcycles, and also providing fluids for the motorcycle that will be rebuilt, which is the 79 CX500C. So all my motorcycles will be having the AMSOIL products in them, thanks to Doug, and thanks to him for helping supply that for our channel. Also, I'd like to thank Law Tigers for jumping on board with us. Law Tigers are accident attorneys only. They only approach you if you approach them. They are not ambulance chasers whatsoever. They are good guys. You will see I have Law Tigers right there below on the hat. They are great people. They actually help the motorcycle community as well. When Don needed somebody to help market these motorcycles, I had him get in touch with Law Tigers. They printed him up some awesome stuff, and they got him out there because they support our community. They support the moto vloggers. They support the motorcycle riding community as much as they can. And if you get hurt, they're going to be there to help you if you give them a call. At any rate, there's going to be links to all of them below. Also, if you're in the Oklahoma area, my friend Derek Enloe with Enloe Insurance can basically get everything for you, from your home to your motorcycle to life insurance. Whatever needs you have in insurance, be sure to look him up. All will be in links below. Keep that shiny side up, folks, and have a great one.